My wonderful artists, it is time for our art chant. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Lines, lines, lines. Shape, color, texture, form, space, value. It's time to find out which art element we're going to use this week.
This week, we're going to be using as many art elements as we can while we draw things from the garden. Think about the shapes, lines, textures, colors, and details that you see when you inspect plants and flowers in the garden. We're going to use our artist eyes to think like artists today. Let's explore how to draw a garden.
Hello, my wonderful artists. Today we are going to be drawing some plants in the garden like we saw in Up in the Garden, Down in the Dirt. So for this, we can see the plant that's above ground, and you can also draw what's below ground if you want to. Now, there are lots of different plants and lots of different ways to draw plants. I am going to start my drawing out by drawing the dirt. So this is the magic line that we talked about a few months ago. Everything below this line is dirt, and everything above it is going to be sky. You can draw whatever sort of plant you want to. I am going to start by drawing the stem of my plant. So I want my plant to be strong. So my stem is going to go up really tall, and then I'm going to give the other side of my stem a line like this. And now we're going to have shoots coming off of the stem, and that's where the leaves are going to be. I'm going to be drawing a tomato plant. You can draw whatever kind of plant you want to. You could come up with your own and be creative. You could look at flowers that you like. I'm going to be drawing other plants too. I just wanted to show you all the parts with this tomato. So I started by drawing a line, and now I'm drawing just lines going off of it. Okay, easy peasy. We can all draw lines. And you know what? If yours doesn't look like mine, that is great, because we are all artists and all of our artworks can look different. That's the great thing about art. All right, so that's what I have so far. Just a long stem and then some shoots coming off of it. Now we're going to draw leaves. For my leaves, I'm going to start by drawing the middle line to curve. And then a tomato plant has zigzaggies on the outside. So instead of drawing just a curved line, I am bringing my pencil back and forth when I make that line. Let me try that again. So I start with the middle curve, and then I make zigzaggies. And it's okay if my leaves aren't all the same, because you know what? If you look at a plant outside, they're not all the same. And if you're drawing a different plant, then your leaves are going to look different. And that's okay. So I start with a curve, and then I make the outside. And see, they look a little bit different than each other. Some of them can be small, and some of them can be bigger. I want lots of leaves. And you know what? Right here, I am going to make a yummy tomato. So to make my tomato, I'm going to make another one right here. It connects to the branch. Then you make a circle. And then when it's growing on the plant, there's some leaves on the top of it. Right there. Okay, let me make one more right here. Circle. And then leaves. There we go. Maybe a baby one right here. It's going to be a smaller circle. Little bitty leaves. Oh, I like those baby ones. I'm going to draw one right here. Lots of baby ones over here. Maybe a baby one sticking up right there. Okay, now we have the stem and we have the shoots going off of the stem. We have the leaves and we have the vegetable or the fruit. Now we need to draw what's underneath. We're going to draw the roots. So the roots start with this line and they go down, and then I'm going to give it another side. So it's not just a line, it's a shape. And then you draw lines coming off of that main root. And then they just keep going like tree branches. And you can draw these however you want. You can make them wiggle wobbly by moving your pencil around. There we go. Wiggle wobbly roots. Easy peasy. And remember, yours can look different. Okay? Now, if you want to have some fun, you can draw little critters. I'm going to draw a little worm. The little worm is going through the dirt. So earthworms have like a rounded, ribbed texture, so I'm going to draw that. And then I'm going to draw some dirt around him, like he's digging through. And actually, he needs a tunnel. I'm going to draw him a tunnel, because he's tunneling through the dirt. There we go. And then maybe a snail over here. So I'm going to start by drawing a spiral. It's just an oval that keeps going and going. And then he looks a lot like the worm. Give him a little smiley face and a little antenna. There we go. And he needs a little tunnel too. So I'm going to draw around him. Maybe he's tunneled from down below. There we go. Now, I'm going to draw some grass above the ground. And you know what? I don't think my tomato plant would like to be alone. I'm going to draw another plant. So I'm going to start the same thing. It's going to go up. And then I'm going to add the other side to it. This is my stem. You know what? I forgot to add the flower. So I'm going to put the flower on the top. Make that a little bit shorter. All right, so it's just a line. And it's not really straight. It's a wiggle wobbly line. Now, I want to draw a sunflower. We saw one of these in the book. Let me flip to it. Here they are. Look at those. They're gorgeous. So you see this long, skinny line that I've drawn already. And then what shape is that? A circle. Right? And then we have the petals. And on a sunflower, there are lots of petals. All right? So I'm going to start with the circle. And it's okay if it's not a perfect circle, because sunflowers don't have perfect circle insides. Okay, but if I want to try again, I can always just draw the part that I didn't get and erase the mistake. Instead of erasing the whole circle, just erase the part I messed up on. All right, now the texture of a sunflower, it has those seeds in it. So I'm just going to draw some texture all over the middle of my sunflower. There we go. Now, the petals are like an oval that connects to the circle. And some are big and some are small. So just keep making these all the way around. Okay, so I have my stem. I have the seeds. I have the petals. I need the leaves. And I could draw the veins on the leaf. The veins are what give the leaves water. Maybe another leaf over here that's a little bit smaller. All right, so now I have this big empty space over here. What could I draw over here? Let's see if I can get some ideas from our book cover. We have flowers here, different types of flowers. We have more grass. We have some insects. These insects, oh, you can't see the bee, I don't think. These insects help pollinate the flowers to get their seeds everywhere, or the pollen everywhere. We have a bird here. On the back, I have a blue jay. Oh, look at this vegetable. I believe that might be a carrot, like a type of a carrot. I think this is a beet. It's connected to that. Like my tomatoes had roots underneath the ground. Well, some vegetables grow underneath the ground. I'm growing radishes at home. They're the red vegetable. I'm going to draw some radishes underneath. So to draw vegetables like carrots or radishes underneath, you start with the shape. So radishes are round. So I'm drawing round shapes. And then they have roots coming out from them. Have you ever seen some hairy things on a big carrot? All right, I hope this worm doesn't get my radishes. And then the radishes have leaves that go up above the ground. So I'm going to do the same thing I did over here with my tomato plant. I'm going to draw a line going up. Make it a shape. And then add a leaf. There we go. And then I'm going to add some veins. The veins are the lines that you see on leaves. All right, there we go. Now, if you need some inspiration for this picture, why don't you think about the fruits and the vegetables that you like to eat? And maybe draw some of those plants. You could even come up with your own.
I started a garden for the first time this spring. Here are some pictures that I took of my baby plants. Here's some radishes I harvested and some baby strawberries that are growing. You can see this plant has a blossom and some little tomatoes. Here are some seedlings that were just getting started. And here they are a little bit bigger. You can look around and see what plants you have in your backyard.
I could just make up a flower. Start out with my line going across. Okay, and then I start with a stem because all plants have stems. All right, and then I need the middle part of my flower. Maybe I want to make a flower shaped like a heart. So I draw that shape first. And then I'm going to draw petals. And I can come up with my own shape of petals. They don't have to look like any other plant I've ever seen. I can be creative. All right, now I'm going to make the middle line on my petals. Your flower doesn't have to look anything like mine. It can look completely different. I want my flower to have heart-shaped seeds, so I'm going to draw a bunch of little hearts inside the middle of this one. And the seeds are shaped like hearts. It's nice. Maybe it's a love flower. There we go. Now it needs some leaves. Now since the leaves here are like bumpy, I'm going to make, or not the leaves, the petals are bumpy. So I'm going to make the leaf not bumpy. And there's its veins. There we go. So let's check and make sure we have all the parts. So we have the stem, petals, seeds, leaves. We need the root. And underground we need to draw the root. And it's going to be wiggly and have branches just like a tree. And have little bitty roots that get smaller and smaller. And these are what helps get water to the plant. All right, and then maybe some grass up above. The grass is just zigzaggies. And then maybe I want to draw some insects. How about a pretty butterfly going to pollinate my flower? There we go. So I want you to be creative, okay? Your flowers and your plants don't have to look anything like mine. You can use inspiration from around you, like the fruits and vegetables you have in your refrigerator, or maybe you have a garden at home, or maybe some garden books of your own, and you could look at pictures of flowers and plants to draw. Have fun and be creative.